তুমি আধেয় আধার, তুমি ব্রহ্ম নিরাকার, তুমি নিরবধার, তুমি নিরবধার, তুমি নিরবধার, বিচিত কনককার, তুমি ব্রহ্ম রাম কৃষ্ণ, তুমি কৃষ্ণ, তুমি রাম, তুমি কৃষ্ণ, তুমি জিষ্ণু, প্রভু বিষ্ণু প্রাণারাম, তুমি ব্রহ্ম রাম কৃষ্ণ, তুমি কৃষ্ণ, তুমি রাম, তুমি বিষ্ণু, তুমি জিষ্ণু, প্রভু বিষ্ণু প্রণাম। অপার করুণা সিন্ধু, তুমি দীনবন্ধু, অপার করুণা সিন্ধু, তুমি দীনবন্ধু, অপার করুণা সিন্ধু, আ আ আ আ আ অপার করুণা সিন্ধু, তুমি দীনবন্ধু, যাচিত কৃপা সিন্ধু, যাচিত কৃপা সিন্ধু, যাচিত কৃপা সিন্ধু, যাচিত কৃপা সিন্ধু, চরণে করি প্রণাম, তুমি ব্রহ্ম রাম কৃষ্ণ, তুমি কৃষ্ণ, তুমি রাম, তুমি বিষ্ণু, তুমি কৃষ্ণ, প্রভু বিষ্ণু প্রণাম। তুমি ব্রহ্ম রাম কৃষ্ণ, তুমি কৃষ্ণ, তুমি রাম, তুমি বিষ্ণু, তুমি জিষ্ণু, প্রভু বিষ্ণু প্রণাম। রাম রাম। हरि 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 ओम हरि 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 सुमिरन करो 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 हरि चरणार धरो हरि चरणार धरो हरि 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 सुमिरन करो हरि 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 सुमिरन करो हरि चरना बिंदुर धरो हरि चरनार बिंदुर धरो हरि 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 सुमिरन करो हरि 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 सुमिरन करो हरि चरनारविंद हरि चरनारविंद हरि 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 सुमिरन करो हरि 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 सुमिरन करो हरि की कथा हो जब जहाँ गंगा हो चलिया कहाँ हरि की कथा हो जब जहाँ गंगा हो चलिया कहाँ हरि की कथा हो जब गंगा हो चलिया कहाँ हरि 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 सुमिरन करो हरि 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 चरना रविंद्र धरो हरि चरनारविंद धरो हरि 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 सुमिरन करो हरि 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 सुमिरन करो यमुना सिंधु सरस्वती आवे यमुना सिंधु सरस्वती आवे गोदावरी गोदावरी सर्वतीर्थ को भाषा जहाँ सूर हरि कथा होवे तहाँ सर्वतीर्थ को भाषा जहाँ सूर हरि कथा होवे तहाँ हर 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 सुमिरन करो हर 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 सुमिरन करो हरि 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 सुमिरन करो हरि 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 सुमिरन करो हरि चरना करो हरि चरणारविंद उरगरो हरि 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 सुमिरन करो हरि 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 सुमिरन करो हरि 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 ओम शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन गाये गणपति जगवंदन गाये गणपति जगवंदन गाये गणपति जगवंदन शंकर सोवन भवानी नंदन सिद्धि सदन गजबदन विनायक सिद्धि सदन गजबदन विनायक सिद्धि सदन गजबदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबलायक काय गणपति जगवंदन गाए गणपति जगवंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन सिद्धि सदन गजबदन विनायक सिद्धि सदन गजबदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबलायक गाये गणपति जगवंदन गाये गणपति जगवंदन मोदक प्रिय मोद मंगलदाता मोदक प्रिय मोद मंगलदाता मोदक प्रिय मोद मंगलदाता विद्यावान बुद्धि विधाता विद्यावान बुद्धि विधाता गणपति जगवंदन गणपति जगवंदन मांगत तुलसीदास कर जोरे 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 बस ही राम सिया मानस मोरे बस ही राम सिया मानस मोरे गाये गणपति जगवंदन गाये गणपति जगवंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन सिद्धि सदन गजबदन विनायक सिद्धि सदन गजबदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबलायक गाये गणपति जगवंदन गणपति जगवंदन गणपति जगवंदन ग गणपति जगवंदन
Om Sthapakaaya Dharmasya Sarvadharmaswarupine Avatar Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namaha. Om Jananim Saradam Devi Ramakrishna Jagadgurum Padavadmi Tvayasritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Om Namasri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukhaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः. It was Thursday, 3rd July, from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, 1884, Balaram Bose's house in Kolkata. Pandit Shashadhar entered the room with one or two friends and saluted the master, where the master was sitting. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting. Master smiling. We are like the bridesmaids waiting near the bed for the arrival of the groom. The Pandit laughed. The room was filled with devotees, among them Dr. Pratap and Balram's father. The master continued his talk. Master to Shashadhar. The first sign of knowledge is a peaceful nature, and the second is the absence of egotism. You have both. There are other indications of a jnani. He shows intense dispassion in the presence of a sadhu, is a lion when at work. For instance, when he lectures and is full of wit before his wife. But the nature of the Vijnani is quite different, as was the case with Chaitanya Deva. He acts like a child or a madman or an inert thing or a ghoul. While in the mood of a child, he sometimes shows childlike gentleness, guilelessness. Sometimes the frivolity of adolescence, and sometimes while instructing others, the strength of a young man. Pandit. By what kind of bhakti does one realize God? Master. 3 kinds of bhakti are found according to the nature of the man. Sattvic bhakti, Rajasic bhakti, and Tamasic bhakti. Sattvic bhakti is known to God alone. It makes no outward display. A man with such devotion loves privacy. Perhaps he meditates inside the mosquito net where nobody sees him. When this kind of devotion is awakened, one has not long to wait for the vision of God. The appearance of the dawn in the east shows that the sun will rise before long. A man with Rajasic Bhakti feels like making a display of his devotion before others. He worships the deity with 16 ingredients, enters the temple wearing a silk cloth, and puts around his neck a string of Rudraksha beads, interspersed here and there with bits of gold and ruby. A man with Tamasic Bhakti shows the courage and boisterousness of a highway robber. A highway robber goes on his expedition openly, shouting, kill, plunder. He isn't afraid even of 8 police inspectors. The devotee with tamasic bhakti also shouts like a madman. Hara Hara, Bum Bum, victory to Kali. He has great strength of mind and burning faith. A Shakto has such faith. He says, what? I have uttered once the name of Kali and of Durga. I have uttered once the name of Rama. Can there be any sin in me? The Vaishnavas have a very humble and lowly attitude looking at Balaram's father. They tell their rosary and whine and whimper, O Krishna, be gracious to us. We are wretched, we are sinners. A man should have such fiery faith as to be able to say, I have uttered the name of God, how can I be a sinner? Imagine a man repeating the name of Hari day and night, and at the same time saying that he is a sinner. So Sri Ramakrishna started singing the name, Ami Durga, Durga, Durga Bole, Ma Jodi Mori. If only I can pass away repeating Durga's name, how canst thou then, O Blessed One, withhold from me deliverance? Wretched though I may be, I may have stolen a drink of wine, or kill a child unborn, or slain a woman or a cow, or even caused a Brahmin's death. But though it all be true, nothing of this can make me feel the least uneasiness. For through the power of thy sweet name, my wretched soul may still aspire even to Brahmanhood. So this portion of gospel we are fortunate to read this morning. And before Sri Ramakrishna, who is in front of us, we can remind of the atmosphere when Swami Vivekananda Ji Maharaj was at Allahabad, Mutiganj. At a devotee's house, he was there in the evening, and devotees sat in front of him in a hall, in a small room, not very big. But Vivekananda Ji was sitting on a chair, and suddenly he asked somebody to place a chair beside him. Then chair was kept. He asked one devotee to place the Sri Ramakrishna's photo on the chair. It was kept. And he started discourse with questions. Whose mind can be steadied? মন স্থির কি করে হয়? How the mind can be steadied? Calm. So he is telling that you have to seek for solitude. You have to live alone. You have to stay alone in solitude. Then he gave the example. God is alone, and his mind is the example of a calm mind. সর্বদা একা থাকতে হয়, তবে মন স্থির হয়। ভগবান একা উদাহরণ দিলেন। He gave the example of God. Then next question. who can does work best, whose work can be best, then he is answering himself. Who can hide himself best? Example, God. Then this way, discourse was going on, and suddenly he stopped and he pointed out the Thakur's picture. He is listening. So immediately whole atmosphere was changed. So these people, the direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, could create an atmosphere which is vibrant with the presence of God. So we can also try to feel that we are sitting in front of Sri Ramakrishna at Dakshineshwar or Balaram Bose's house. Sri Ramakrishna is talking, is discoursing. At one place in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, he is telling everybody can realize the Atman. আত্মজ্ঞান সকলেরই হতে পারে, আত্মদর্শন সকলেরই হতে পারে. Everybody can realize the Atman. Then Master contradicted. M contradicted. Master means M, the author of the Gospel. He is telling that how can it be possible? The God is the only doer. Then how can it be possible that everybody will have realization of the Atman? According to his will, everything is happening. Somebody is making somebody bound, he is making somebody free. Then Sri Ramakrishna contradicted. No. Pray and he will listen. Pray intensely and he will. না, প্রার্থনা করতে হয়। প্রার্থনা তিনি শোনেন। প্রার্থনা করলে তিনি শোনেন। This is the self-effort to pray. By self-effort only, this karma of good karma, by the force of good karma, that is praying to God, it is an intense prayer that will make the impossible possible. So we who are not satisfied and also not comfortable that about one's own progress of in spiritual life, that I am not spiritually advancing. So for them, it is a great hope. We listen from Sri Ramakrishna. Sakoleri Atmadarshan hote pare. Everybody can realize Atman. But Ames reply that no, how can it be? ঈশ্বর কর্তা, তিনি যেখানে যেমন করছেন. Somebody, he is making somebody bound, he is liberating somebody. So by the force of prayer, that Ishvara's actions can be changed. He can be gracious and bestows grace on that devotee who is intensely praying. So, all through this Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the whole Dakshineshwar, all the time, whenever the devotee comes, that was a miniature of Vaikuntha, always singing from the very morning, early in the morning. So many instances are there. So when we read Kathamrita Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we must be very careful. We must follow the trend of discussions chronologically, step by step. He is telling Narendranath, if the wicked people, they speak behind you, they tell wrong things behind you, what will you do? Then Narendranath is telling, I shall think that dog is barking. No. If the God is all pervading, tiger God, though Narayana, is to be shunned, is to be kept away from a distance. He should be kept away from a distance. So you should not embrace tiger God. But we have to think tiger God as Narayana. So this way, Sri Ramakrishna was instructing. But the reader, we the readers, common readers, sometimes think that when can we embrace tiger God? That question may arise. If he is a tiger and also in the God in the form of tiger, then why can't we embrace that tiger God? Then it is a matter of discrimination. And the question may arise that when can we embrace the tiger God? Then the answer may come that yes, after the relation of God, we can embrace the tiger God. Because this human body is the rarest of the rare bodies. So in this human life, if this body is shattered to pieces or being eaten up by the tiger God, then this opportunity of realizing God or progressing towards spirituality will be lost. Then I have to wait for another opportunity. So I think Sri Ramakrishna told from this angle that though tiger is Narayana, but you should not embrace the tiger God. Similarly, in our day-to-day life, there are so many wicked people or the clever people we come across every day, occasionally or every time. So how to tackle them? So we should not embrace them or we should not invite them. From a distance, we must respect them as a tiger god, or a god in the form of wicked people. But we shall not invite them in the beginning because it will hamper our the growth of the tender plant. So a tender plant is to be kept within the boundary of the fence. So this way, we have to behave with the people around us. Somebody you can invite, somebody you should not invite. But for Holy Mother, it is different because she is the mother of the universe. She is inviting everybody. So in the gospel, you will find many such anecdotes, and in between the lines, there are so many truths, so many hidden truths are there. You have to find out. I have been thinking that we all read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. But what is the difference between Swami Shantananda ji is reading Gospel and Swami Madhavananda ji is reading Gospel every day? What the special things they are reading? They perhaps all committed to memory the whole Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Every page by page, every discourse, they can, without seeing books, they can repeat. Once I was reading the episode of Nilkantha. So Nilkantha gave words to Sri Ramakrishna, sent words that I shall be going to Dakshineshwar village. There we will have some drama and singing. The next day I shall come to you with my companions. So according to the words, Sri Ramakrishna was waiting from the very morning. So today Nilkantha will come. Nilkantha's song was very endearing. So Sri Ramakrishna used to love Nilkantha very much because he has special devotion towards God. Bhakti, it was there, genuine bhakti. So all the day he was waiting. Nilkantha told that he will come around 3 p.m. So Nilkantha came with his companion, singing and dancing, Kirtana, on the northern west veranda of Dakshineshwar. The dance, they were dancing, and Sri Ramakrishna came out of his room and dancing with Nilkantha from 3 p.m. That dance lasted till the evening, when the evening arati will be started. And after the dance and singing were stopped, then accompanied by Nilkantha, Sri Ramakrishna, certainly aim was there. Otherwise, we would not have get that episode here. So they all came to western round veranda. So they sat there in the evening, and Nilkantha was saying, "You are the very embodiment of Gauranga, Apni Gauranga." Sri Ramakrishna was telling Ogunoki what these words are. It is the wave of the Ganga, not the Ganga of the waves. Gangari Dev, Dever Kichu Ganga nai. Nilkantha was telling that, no, আপনাকে আমরা সাক্ষাৎ তাই দেখছি. We are verily seeing you as Gauranga. The next sentence uttered by Sri Ramakrishna within the bracket, with very morose minded or very sad, being very sad, Koruna, Korun Sore. What is the English meaning of Korun Sore? Korun, very sad, becoming very sad. Tomra to bolcho, you are saying all these things. I try to find my I, but I don't find it. So he was contemplating on that point. The name and form which the Nilkantha and the group were pointing out that in this form, the very Gauranga has been was manifested. But Sri Ramakrishna was unable to find any limitation to become limited within the body-mind complex and within the limit of an individual ego. So that time his mood was in the state of such a mood of transcendence that he was unable to bring down his mind within the limit of body-mind complex and ego. তোমরা তো বলছো কিন্তু আমার আমিকে খুঁজতে যাই খুঁজে পাই না। এই শ্রীরামকৃষ্ণ আমরা we think that what Madhavanandaji was, how he was reading, what he was thinking, what he was reading in the gospel, because several times from the very childhood, perhaps, he had been reading gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. But what speciality in them? So I think we have to also think in this way what they were thinking about gospel, what they were contemplating on the gospel. Then in this way, if we think that, then we'll discover many treasures in the gospel. And we'll find interest in reading gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. There are many things, many such things are there. Very interesting. So afterwards, if I get time, then I shall find out some pages, then I shall discuss. Now, I want to know, what do you want to listen from me about the spiritual life? You can ask questions. Reminiscences of the old sadhus. I am a very young person, and you will listen from Srimad Swami Amaranandaji Maharaj. So he is he can lots of things he will say. He was in association. I also was in association with the great sadhus. Fortunately, Bhuteshanandaji, you see, Bhuteshanandaji, one of the sadhus I have seen, after the bypass surgery was over, he came to Velumot, and that time onwards, pranam was going on for the sadhus with the barricade. The bench was in front of him, and nobody could touch his feet. And some places his bandage was there, still not removed. And he was in folded hands. It is a very nice thing to see. So we were standing with silence. Somebody is very feebly talking. I was trying to be more closer to Maharaj, as far as I could be close, to listen if he could tell something, he could utter something. Suddenly, very feebly, he uttered, সামনে গঙ্গা বয়ে যাচ্ছে, কেউ স্পর্শ করতে পারছে না. In front of us, in front, there is Ganges is flowing by and nobody could touch. So that was a remarkable statement from Bhuteshanandaji Maharaj. What could be the meaning of this sentence? So you can also contemplate on that sentence and you can discover many meaning as per your understanding. I should not explain. So I would like Bhuteshanandaji very much. Gambhiranandaji Maharaj went to Barasat. So when I was in Barasat from 1988 to 1991, before training center, 3 years I was there. So that time, Ramanathanji went, Gambhiranandaji went, and Bhuteshanandaji went, Gahanandaji went to give initiation there. So when Gambhiranandaji went, they are very, very nice. Sometimes Gambhiranandaji would be in a jovial mood. I have seen him there that night. So one evening, Ratan Maharaj was feeding him at night. I was near him also. So after the food is over, after washing the mouth, he lied down on the bed comfortably. Then Ratan Maharaj is telling, after coming, Maharaj, you have to take medicines also. Now, he is telling, Shreyangshi Bahu Vignani. He has to get up again and to take medicine again. Shreyangshi Bahu Vignani. Then it is over. It was over. Then he's again lying down. Then the mosquito curtain was arranged nicely. Then he is also helping that to put the mosquito curtain under the bed. Suddenly he, in a jovial mood, is telling, what is the cloth added to the mosquito net? There's some portion of cloth is there added the mosquito net. Why this cloth is there? Then Ratan Maharaj was telling, Maharaj, in every mosquito net, it is there. Huh? It was fallen short, that is why they added it. Then Tapan Maharaj, another Sevak, was entering. He also listened to Gambhiranandaji's words. Maharaj, I wish that every mosquito net, the cloth should be added the double in size, not that length. What Tapan is telling? Then Ratan Maharaj was telling, Tapan is telling that it would have been doubled, the cloth. I'm supporting, I'm agreeing with Tapan. It's a joyous mood it was. And that year, that time, that was the last visit to Barasat. After going to Krishnanagar, he became ill and passed away. And one incident I'm telling that day, morning after breakfast, every day we used to go with Sevaka to prostrate before him, good morning, to say good morning, making pranam. Then he used to suddenly ask, Tuike, who are you? I am Vibhu. What do you do here? I do puja here. Okay. That day especially, Gambhiranandaji was on an armchair this way, sitting. Nodir apun bege pagol para. He is singing. It was a strange thing. That day, actually, he will not return. Nodir apun bege, he would have found the ocean. The river will be merged in the ocean, I thought. So that day, Radhakrishna Maharaj, Atmaramanandaji was telling afterwards that day I saw, after making pranam to Guru's place, that is to Sri Ramakrishna, Govindandaji never actually in his life to turn around, to look back. This habit was not there. Always straight. That day only, while after he's finishing the pranam and going towards car, he looked back to Thakur. So that was a strange thing Atmaramanandaji told me. This was. And other monks, Naren Mara Swami Suksmanandaji was there. So in a monk's quarter, if you understand Bengali, all of you are understanding Bengali. Oh, that. So I shall tell, as far as I can express in English also. Very nice way. So Suksmanandaji was telling the story of the earlier monks. He, after the Shuddhanandaji was very much strict in maintaining the rules and regulation of the mud. And after the demise of Mahapurush Maharaj, Akhandandaji was selected as the president of the mud. He was in Sargachi. He told that he sent a message that if Shuddhanandaji will be the general secretary, I will not be the president. Because Shuddhanandaji, they are Paramahansa-like. So he is not habituated to follow the strict rules of the, for his own sake. For rules and regulations are necessary for the youngsters, but not for him. But anyway, somehow he is telling that if he will be the president, general secretary, he will remain the general secretary. I shall not be the president. Immediately, Shuddhanandaji resigned from the post. Immediately, respecting the Sri Ramakrishna's disciple, and Virajanandaji became the general secretary. So Suksmanandaji was telling, you see, this respect how Shuddhanandaji was showing to Akhandandaji Maharaj. In spite of that decision, and though he knew that if he will remain as the general secretary, Akhandandaji will not become the president. And whenever Akhandandaji used to come from Sargachi, Shuddhanandaji, by sitting on his feet, under his feet, he used to listen to the spiritual discourse every day. So this is the greatness of Swami Shuddhanandaji, how to honor these people. So this incident I heard from Narendra Suksmanandaji. He was the disciple of Swami Mahapurush Maharaj, Swami Shivanandaji. In Bengali, when Narendra Maharaj was invited, Swami Smaranandaji, he used to tell জয়রাম কইল, আপনি আরোগ্য ভবনে থাকেন না কেন? Why you are not staying at আরোগ্য ভবন? তো আমি কইলাম কি, আরোগ্য ভবন তো আরোগ্য লাভের জায়গা, আমি তো মরতে আইছি। The আরোগ্য ভবন is for recovering, only. But I had come for dying here at Belumot. Why I should live in আরোগ্য ভবন? রাম গোপাল কইল, আপনি মঠে থাকেন। The Swami Pramayanandaji told that, please Maharaj, come and stay at Mutt. Then he is deriving conclusion, Naran Maharaj, Swami Suksmanandaji. তাইলে হইল কি, আরোগ্য ভবন হইল আরোগ্য লাভের জায়গা, মঠ হইল মরণের জায়গা। আরোগ্য ভবন is a place for recovering, and the Bellu Mutt is for the place for dying. So very nice things were there. About japa and meditation, the main topic. I should come. All these things. Once Jyotirupanandaji went to Narendrapur. I was there. That time I didn't go to Moscow. That time he used to come almost every year in the winter season. And that time, perhaps in 2014 or 15 maybe, I also went to Narendrapur. After the dinner was over, Jyotirupanandaji was speaking. And one of the monks asked Maharaj, what type of question the Russians ask you about spirituality? Oh, do you want to listen? You see, this type of very nice questions they used to ask. Maharaj, you instructed us to meditate on the lotus in the heart. If somebody sits on the lotus will be smashed. So how could I meditate? I think the Jyotirupanandaji had spiritual experience, and that is why I never heard this type of answer. Only from Jyotirupanandaji I got that answer. He told that, you see, when your mind be very much calm and quiet and withdrawn from all the parts, prana will be centralized and withdrawn from all the parts of the body. That time your meditation starts actually. From that time onwards, you can meditate only. If you are conscious of about your body, meditation will not start. Deep meditation will start after you lose the consciousness of your body. Then he is still telling that when that happens, when that state happens, your body becomes light. Similarly, the divine bodies do not have weight. Their bodies are light. Divine person, because their body is made of sattva guna. You must have read that in the life of Swami Brahmananda, sometimes his close attendants used to see Brahmananda was walking above the ground. So I have never got such an answer that because the God's body is very light, composed of sattva guna, the lotus will not be smashed. So the great lesson I got from Swami Jyotirupanandaji Maharaj. And Jyotirupalani Maharaj used to meditate at Holy Mother's temple at night also, and in Swamiji's temple also, long hours, in odd hours when everybody was sleeping that time. And he had some experiences. Once Jyotirupalani told in the training center that time, few monks were there, few brahmacharis were there, and they had desire that all the devotees could meet President Maharaj, but we could not. We want to meet also. President Maharaj means that time Madhavanandaji Maharaj. So arrangement was made that every day one brahmachari will go and ask questions to him, whatever any topic, spiritual topic, he can get guidance from him. So that time, his time, one Madan Maharaj was there. So Madan Maharaj used to claim that he had some Jyoti Darshana. He used to see light in meditation. And he had this type of spiritual experience. Then his turn came, Madan Maharaj's turn. He went to Madhavanandaji. And he was telling before Madhavanandaji. Then Madhavanandaji commented, Osab Tamoguna, those are Tamaguna. Osab Tamogun. All these are Tamagunas. So it was only Madhavanandaji could know what is Tamaguna, what is Sattva. So I saw Jyotirpanandaji when he used to do japa or meditation, completely used to lose his outer world. So concentrated mind. When he used to read, that if you stand before him half an hour, he will not see. This type of concentration is there. So he actually, when he was brahmachari, he was absconding from the Belumad. For 1.5 years, he was outside the mud, outside the order, barefooted and without touching money. He earned what is the treasure, he earned spiritual treasure, he earned, that is the dependence on God. Perfect dependence on God I have seen in him. So he is not carrying anything. Even now, he never asks a spoon. If a spoon is required, he will himself get up and take the spoon. He will not order anything, anybody. He himself do. Even a glass of water, he will not ask for anything. If you offer, then good. If you don't offer, he will do himself. Self-dependent he is still now. So he used to do japa and meditation much in a younger age. And he had some experiences. So this japa mantra, once Bireshwaranji Maharaj, I told one day, Bireshwaranji Maharaj, disciple, a lay disciple, householder disciple, they visited Nepal Gandoki River. He brought one shaligram, very beautiful, very auspicious variety of rare varieties of salagram. He brought before him and showed to Guru that Maharaj, so much fortunate I am that I have found this type of salagram. Then Viraswami was telling, what a trouble you made. that you, so much long distance, you brought this rare variety of salagram. Do one thing. You go to the Ganges and throw it in the Ganges. What I gave, the mantra, that is more precious than the salagram, more important than the salagram. So the mantra which our Guru has given is none but the God himself. You have God, the sound form of God, the very, your Ishtadevata, in the seed form, that is sound form, which is invisible, the sound form of God. I had the opportunity to touch Sri Ramakrishna's relics. And many of us, maybe, Umaranandaji, maybe. These relics are kept at the birthplace of Mahapurush Maharaj Shivananda Dhama. I was not knowing, before Durga Puja, I used to clean the store, shrine store. So I told the volunteer that what is there? A broken trunk is there above. So no, a thief came and stolen many things, and that was lying and broken. So I bring down the trunk and opened and found one small box with hair, some dusts, and one this brass, that is neem brass or something is there, wooden. This. And a letter was found, fortunately. It was written by Deven Maharaj, Mayar Shishyo, the disciple of Holy Mother. That these things were received from Tulsi Ram Ghosh, the brother of Babu Ram Ghosh. These things. The letter was there in the trunk. But a quote was there also that perhaps belonged to Mahapurush Maharaj, but as there was no mention and no reference, so that could not be detected. But these things, that the daton, that is the toothbrush, the natural toothbrush used by Sri Ramakrishna, and the hair was mother's hair, and the dust of the feet of Holy Mother there. So anybody will see it alone, he may be tempted to keep with him something. But I didn't have such desires to keep with me, because I'm an not eligible person to keep those things. So I handed over, when Swami Atmastanandaji came to Shivananda Dham for lecture, whole thing I handed over to him. Maharaj, these precious things were there. So, okay, I am taking this thing. Then Swami Prabhupada acknowledged, thanked me a lot of thanks. So anyway, the thing is this, the most important thing is this, all these outer things, which are very much alluring or very much auspicious or very, very much important things in our spiritual life. Spiritual value is there in it, all objective things. More than that, we have to give importance on the mantra. Our mind always trying to be diverted to those things, and we spend less hours in japa and meditation than to protect those things. This God, that God, that God, that God, that from Vrindavana, that from Kasi, that from this. The sign is full of idols. And whole time is passed on giving flowers, water, everything. So this Virashwaranandaji Maharaj used to point out that the mantra you have to read. This mind, after the death, you have to carry your mind with you. So be careful that your mind, the impression, you have to be careful about the impression of the mind, impressions of the mind, that what you will carry after death. These things you cannot carry, these material things. Only your soul along with your jivatma will go, that is with mind, it will go and take another birth. This is the thing. No other thing you can carry with you. So which you can carry with you, give importance to that. That is the mind. That is why Sri Ramakrishna is also telling these things. I have one nice book of Raja Maharaj. This is my this book you have perhaps seen, the Sri Ramakrishna's Upadesha by Raja Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda. This is most important. This is authorized. This is edited by Sri Ramakrishna himself. This book was edited by Sri Ramakrishna himself. I am reading it out. What is the story behind this editing? Brahmananda Lila Katha, it is from the Anecdotes. Lila Katha. Brahmacharya Akshaya Chaitanya. He was living, Brahmananda was living at Kashi Sevasrama on the southern corner room. That time, 2 years he stayed there. So that by his effort, many development took place at the ashrama, Sevasrama. That time he composed this book. And Swami Brahmananda used to tell this before his disciple Devendra Gupta, Devananda, and he is the disciple of Holy Mother. And he will not allow anybody to enter his room that time when he used to dictate those messages of Sri Ramakrishna. And the outstanding Sri Ramakrishna, a personification of truth, he always used to refer any example or anything he heard from anybody, he used to refer to that person, that I have heard this from that person, I have heard this from that person. Authority is to acknowledge the authority of the sources. But in our life, day-to-day life, if we heard anything, then we very rarely acknowledge that I have heard this from that person. But Sri Ramakrishna was very much particular. He will not tell that I told that. So one of such messages, one of such examples, one of such things, Raja Maharaj mentioned that Thakur told. Then Thakur appeared before him, before Raja Maharaj, and told, I had not told that. It was told by that person. So that is why this book is edited by Sri Ramakrishna himself. Very authentic. So here actually many more things are noted down here. Raja Maharaj's message. My personal notes are there, many notes. Among these, Raja Maharaj is telling, forget the body and its comforts. Shake up the illusory peace of Maya and find the real peace, the everlasting peace of God. This is Raja Maharaj message. Whom Sri Ramakrishna loves most? He is telling that who has samskaras, who is very pure soul, who is very much aspiring for God, who has very less attraction for bodily pleasures and money, and they have no intention, very not much and much attachment to that. To them, I love. Sri Ramakrishna told. So, if you want to be loved by Sri Ramakrishna, we have to be careful on these matters. Always repeat the name of God during work. Your mind should be, one part of mind will be on Him. As your mind always remain when you have tooth pain, dental pain, or some blister is there, some boil is there, like that. Once I asked Swami Mokshadanandaji Maharaj, at some period, some moment or some occasions, we regularly try to do japa and meditation. But sometimes my mind becomes concentrated a little, and then I get peace of mind. That type of peace of mind, how I can maintain in the midst of intense work? So he told that you keep in mind always that God has become all. God has become all. All means in all, your body and mind, your existence is also there. In all, you are also there in all. So you include yourself. God has become everything. God has become all. And you are in that all also. The puzzle is we don't include when you say that God has become all except myself. That is the Maya. We want to become separate from the all-pervading God. To become the witness self, we want to keep separate. And Maharaj is telling, you always think, Sri Ramakrishna's one word, God has become everything. God has become all. So when you work, try to think again, and God is becoming all, including yourself this way. And on this way, when go on practicing, and on a very auspicious time or a very opportune moment of time, then you'll see one day, in a flash, that when you are working, it is not you working, but God working through your hand. This hand is not yours, it is God's hand. Your I, your ego will go, and God is pulsing your whole body, occupying your whole body, and it is God who is working, you are not. So that is the message he gave, and logically, I was very much convinced of this message, and I'm trying to practice it. On the intensity of my practice, the realization will come on very auspicious day or moment. So this much. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll again hear from Maharaj afterwards. So now we'll have a small bhajan session. So Uma can. And there's an announcement. There's a blue car SX16LCP. That is blocking the door. Our food has come. So that part, yeah. Just,
but okay. Let me do a bit of Kanpura. Yeah.
and because we are delaying the lunch by half an hour. 1 hour. Anything. What else you want? My position.
So can we change anything previous or this one? Just leave it. Yeah, just leave it. Devi Prasanna Vadane Karuna Avantare Divyojvala Dyutimaya Trijagat Janitri Kalyanakari Danashila Matar Viraj Satatam Mamarid Saruje Matar Viraj Satatam Mamarid Saruje Vedanta Vedya Paratatva Shumurta Rupa Adanta Madhya Rahita Shruti Sharabhuta Ekadvaya hi Parama Prakriti Swamadhya Matar Viraj Satatam Mamarid Saruje Matar Viraj Satatam
मम हृदय सरोजे माया मनुष्य तनुधारिणी विश्ववन्दे लीला विलास करि चिन्मय दिव्य रूपे सृष्टि स्थिति प्रलयकारी विश्व शान्ति मातर विराज सततं मम हृदय सरोजे मातर विराज सततं मम हृदय सरोजे वैराग्य भक्ति वरदा भवतारिणी त्वं माङ्गल्य शान्ति निलया अमृत स्वरूपा विद्या जगद्रूप नैत्य शेतु मातर विराज सततं मम हृदय सरोजे मातर विराज सततं मम हृदय सरोजे श्री राम कृष्णमय पावक त्वं तद्भाव विग्रहमयि तद्विलसता श्री राम कृष्णमय पावक दीप्ति शक्ति मातर विराज सततं मम हृदय सरोजे मातर विराज सततं मम हृदय सरोजे सच्चित् सुखानुभवदायिनि बोधरूपे विश्वेश्वरी प्रणतपालिनी सिद्धिदात्री श्री शारदे भुवन मंगल दिव्यमूर्ते श्री शारदे भुवन मंगल दिव्यमूर्ते मातर विराज सततं मम हृदय सरोजे मातर विराज सततं मम हृदय सरोजे we sing Bhavasagara, which is hymn hymn 76, page 38. भवसागर तारण कारण हे रवि नंदन बंधन खंडन हे शरणागत किंकर भीत मने शरणागत किंकर भीत मने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने विधि कंदर तामस भास्कर हे तुमि विष्णु प्रजापति शंकर हे पर ब्रह्मा परात्पर वेद भाने पर ब्रह्मा परात्पर वेद भाने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने मनवारण शासन अंकुश हे नर त्राण तरे हरि चाकुश हे गुणगान देव गाने गुणगान देव गाने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने कुल कुंडलिनी घुम भांजा कहे हृदय क्रांति विदारण कारक हे मम मानस चंचल रात्र दिने मम मानस चंचल रात्र दिने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने रिपुशूदन मंगलनायक हे सुख शांति वराभय दायक हे त्रयतापहरे तव नाम गुणे त्रयतापहरे तव नाम गुणे गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर अभिमान प्रभा विमारद कहे गतिहीन जने तुम्हें रक्षक है चित शंकित वंचित धने चित शंकित वांछित भक्ति धने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने तव नाम सदा शुभ साधक है पतिता धम मानव पावक है महिमा तव गोचर शोध बने महिमा गोचर शोध बने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने जय सद्गुरु ईश्वर प्रापक है भव रोग विकार विनाशक है मन जन तब श्री चरणे मन जय तब श्री चरणे गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने रामकृष्ण दया कर दीन जने रामकृष्ण दया कर दीन जने रामकृष्ण दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने गुरुदेव दया कर दीन जने Hymn 75. गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम আজি शुभ दिन मिलिए भक्त जाने আজি शुभ दिन मिलिए भक्त जाने गाहो गाहो राम कृष्ण नाम गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम राम कृष्ण नामे राम कृष्ण प्रेमे राम कृष्ण नामे राम कृष्ण प्रेमे माते राधा गाहो रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम रीते भूभार প্রেম অবতার পুরীতে ভুভার প্রেম অবতার প্রভু রাম কৃষ্ণ গুণধার গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম জয় রাম সেই কৃষ্ণ বিশ্ব গুরু রাম কৃষ্ণ জয় রাম সেই কৃষ্ণ বিশ্ব গুরু রাম কৃষ্ণ একাধারে শ্যামা শিব শ্যাম গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম 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 আজি শুভ দিনে মিলিয়ে ভগত জানে আজি শুভ দিনে মিলিয়ে ভগত জানে গাহো গাহো রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম গাহো রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম গাহো রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম রাম কৃষ্ণ নামে রাম কৃষ্ণ প্রেমে রাম কৃষ্ণ নামে রাম কৃষ্ণ প্রেমে মাতে আয়ুধ রাধা গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম পুরীতে ভুভার প্রেম অবতার পুরীতে ভুভার প্রেম অবতার প্রভু রাম কৃষ্ণ গুণধার গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম জয় রাম সেই কৃষ্ণ বিশ্ব গুরু রাম কৃষ্ণ জয় রাম সেই কৃষ্ণ বিশ্ব গুরু রাম কৃষ্ণ একাধারে শ্যামা শিব শ্যাম গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম 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 আজি শুভ দিনে মিলিয়ে ভগত জানে আজি শুভ দিনে মিলিয়ে ভগত জানে গাও গাও রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম রাম কৃষ্ণ নামে রাম কৃষ্ণ প্রেমে রাম কৃষ্ণ নামে রাম কৃষ্ণ প্রেমে মাতে আয়ুধ ধরা গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম পুরীতে ভুভার প্রেম অবতার পুরীতে ভুভার প্রেম অবতার প্রভু রাম কৃষ্ণ গুণধার গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম জয় রাম সেই কৃষ্ণ বিশ্ব গুরু রাম কৃষ্ণ জয় রাম সেই কৃষ্ণ বিশ্ব গুরু রাম কৃষ্ণ একাধারে শ্যামা শিব শ্যাম গাও রে জয় জয় রাম কৃষ্ণ নাম 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 जय श्री गुरु महाराज जी की जय। जय महामाय की जय जय स्वामी जी महाराज जी की जय।
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaaya. Om Namah Jagatjananai Saradebhi Namah. Om Maheshwaraya Vivekanandaya Namah. Please tell me what you want to listen. Japa and meditation. Japa and meditation. Okay. They say that there are two kinds of speeches, japa and jalpa. And one should, jalpa means gossiping. And japa means repeating God's name. It is a wonderful tool for progressing in spirituality. Chaitanya Deva himself wrote, Namnam akari nijasarva shakti tattvarpita deva niyamita smarane nakala. You have created your name and given in that name all your powers. And the beauty of this, that there is the fixed rule of repeating this name. That means at any time, at any place, you can do it. That is what it means. Niyamita smarane nakala. So, see, he himself was a great Japaka. His disciple, Yavan Haridas, it is said that Yavan Haridas used to repeat the name of Krishna 300,000 times a day. So they were, you see, a great fan of Japa Sadhana. He himself told Raghunath Das, he said, Gramma katha na kahibe, Gramma katha na shunibe. Bhalo na khaibe ar bhalo na puribe. Amanike man dibe, Krishna naam sada dabe. Manushe brajer lila pattakha karibe. That means don't talk vulgar words. Never listen to such words. And you should not eat very rich food. And you should not have gorgeous cloth. That means hinting at frugality. There should be frugality in life. Omanike mandive. Give respect to the person who even does not deserve it. To cultivate humility. And then he says, Manase brajer lila prattaksha karive. That means it is a kind of meditation. That mentally you see the Krishna sport in Brajadham. That is for meditation. Manase brajer lila prattaksha karive. He said these things. Now, japa, you see, if you look at India, from where japa has come to all other countries, you see, the Muslims, you see, I remember a Muslim in Cyprus, he told me that we repeat mantras, but we know that all this system has come from India. Now, most of the Indian monks, they rise on the basis of japa. See, they have become saints over their deeds. And in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, you have the example of Gopal Irma, the mother of Gopal, Agarmani Devi, who through japa had everything. You see, Krishna, the child Krishna began to live with him due to his devotion. For 3 months, she lived with child Krishna. You see, Ramanuja talks about Archavatara. Archavatara means the descent of divine animation in an inanimate object which you worship, which is called Archa. Any image which is worshipped is called Archa. Archavatara. So this Archavatara, Sri Ramakrishna himself has demonstrated it in his life, say many times. And another example is this Agarmani Devi. So, Japat Siddhi. Swami Vivekananda was asked, this Agarmani Devi, that you please give initiation to people. And she replied, am I capable of doing it? Then he said, who else will do it? See, you can give the mantra you have repeated yourself to people. So then she began to give mantra. Japa is a japa. Now, how to do japa? See, japa is repeating God's name, but repeating loudly or what? You see. Normal rule is that if you are in solitude, you can't do it loudly. You can't do it loudly, but better is to do it in a whispering voice. Most monks do it like that in a whispering voice or mentally. And if you continue this japa, even for example, 7 days, for example, you are doing japa intensely, you will find that even in the night, when your sleep, you see, is broken, automatically the japa begins because it has entered into your system. It has become a part of your reflex. So you begin to do it. At that time, it is, you say, you are assured if you are having this. Then you say, at all times, you have a part of your mind in japa. Even when you are not doing japa, a part of your mind will be in japa. So that is a very thing. And japa, gradually, when it becomes intense, you cannot continue it, then meditation begins. Because it has become, deeper. So then meditation begins. Normally for us, meditation means visualization with love. That is the normal thing. But there are other ways also of meditation. You see, for example, your aim, and the chronicler of Ramakrishna, he used to have some other person nearby, you see, to read the Kathamrita. And then he used to say, stop now. And then he used to meditate on these anecdotes, the whole thing. So this is another kind of meditation. That means you're concentrating on inspiring anecdotes. Okay. For example, you can think of the first meeting between Naren, there would be Swami Vivekananda, and Sri Ramakrishna. It was a neighbor's house, Srinath Mitra's house. And there are many people, and Naren was observing. He had listened to Brahma Samaj leaders, you see. They were good speakers. But here was a man who was using a language like a village man. And there was nothing extraordinary about his person. except that sometimes he used to be in meditation, you see, looking at that person, the most ordinary person. So when his mind was full of your doubts, because he had assimilated much of Western philosophy, especially the three essays on religion. You see, that is in the three essays on religion, he read the essays, and then he became totally skeptic, because it is saying that in science, you accept a thing after thoroughly testing it. But in religion, it is the doctrines. Many things you do not understand, you have to accept it in the name of religion. So be cautious about religion, because there are many things fake about religion. If you begin to test it, we begin to scrutinize it, they fall down. So this idea became part and parcel of Noren's mind. So he wanted to test everything, you see. So when the crowd melted in the room, this adolescent boy, he crawled to Ramakrishna and asked, "Do you believe in God?" That was his first question. He said, "Yes." Second question, "What is the proof?" Ramakrishna said that because I see him, just I see you see, as clearly as I see you. So this kind of answer Noren had never heard. So he could not ask any further question. That this man may be deluded man, self-deluded, thinking that he has seen God, or he must be a rare soul who is able to say that I have seen God. If you go to your Islam, normally Muslims say that you may not say God, see God. So after an interreligious meeting, a very famous man who is also, I forget his name, he was also a great composer. You see, meeting was held in Vienna. So, as I said that you can say God during my talk, he was saying that you cannot see God. I replied, "You are a Muslim." It is not. He said, "Yes." "Have you heard about Ibn Arabi?" I asked him. "Have you heard about Ibn Arabi?" He had seen God and describing his experience afterwards. It tallies with your witnesses left by great Indian monks. And he was a Muslim, Ibn Arabi. So then he kept silent. So God can be seen, you see. That was what Sri Ramakrishna said. So Noren, you see, you can think of this, the whole anecdote you see, in meditation, reflecting upon the whole thing. And Narayan listened to Sri Ramakrishna, did not believe him fully, but thought that he must be some extraordinary person, or you see, a man self-deluded, thinking that he had seen God. You see. So he would test him. That was his. And Sri Ramakrishna asked him to come to Dakshineshwar. So after, you see, several weeks, he went there with some friends. And Sri Ramakrishna looked at those friends and he was not happy. So he took Narayan by hand and dragged him from the room to the western round veranda. Those of you who have seen Dakshineshwar will remember there's a round veranda. So there he entered with Narayan and bolted that veranda from outside. And the veranda itself was secluded by your some bamboo, your sheets. And there, with folded hands, he began to pray to Narayan, saying that I know, O Lord, you are that ancient sage Nara, incarnated again. But should you come so late in my life? I had been waiting for you for years and years. You see. Because when he was born, he told later Narayan that Narayan himself intimated that I have come. So he was waiting that one day he would come. So it was 19 years. He said that I have been hearing the talks of ordinary persons, full of worldly talks. It is irritating me. And I have many things to tell, but I do not know to whom to tell. Then he suddenly opened the veranda, that means the bolt, and went inside the room. And from the ceiling, there were your recipients, hanging sweetmeats. So he took something from there and came again to Narayan and again bolted the door and gave it to Narayan. Narayan said, I shall distribute it among my friends. You see. He said, no, it is for you. You see. You consume it. So then he clasped the hand of Narayan and said that promise that he will come again, but alone, to Dakshineshwar. This is the second meeting of Narayan with Ramakrishna. You can meditate on it. Third time Narayan came, and alone he came. And Sri Ramakrishna was seated on his cot. When he entered, he was muttering something inaudibly. And Naren took his seat, you see, in another cot, smaller cot by the side. And gradually, Ramakrishna was approaching Naren, and suddenly he touched his chest. As soon as he touched, you see, that means he had already seen that this boy was treading in the path of Nirakara. So he wanted to see whether he could induce the highest kind of samadhi in him by touch. That is what was the intention of Ramakrishna. So as soon as he touched, he saw that the whole things they're whirling, you see, and vanishing. And the whole universe is being crumbled to pieces. And then he found that his ego is also vanishing. Then he thought, by a mysterious process, this man was trying to kill him. So he shouted that, "What are you doing to me? I have parents at home," he said. So Ramakrishna immediately put his hand on his chest again, said, "We need not be in a hurry. All these things will come in due time." And it came 50 months later. You see, this your experience of the highest samadhi. So you can think about these things, you see. I'm giving just examples. There are many such things, you see. In the Kathamrita you read, there are songs, Naren was singing, and then listen to it, Sri Ramakrishna, you see. Sometimes he was sitting and went into samadhi. Sometimes he used to stand up and go into samadhi. So this is another kind of meditation. Anecdotal. Then there are other kinds of meditation. Swami Turiyananda, for certain times in his life, he used to meditate on certain shlokas of the Gita for days together on a single shloka. That in meditating means, you see, the certain shlokas are charged with ideas. What are those ideas? Meditating on that, you see. So this is another type, the reflection type. This is also a meditation. There are other meditations which Sri Ramakrishna also taught to certain of his disciples, which lead ultimately to your impersonal God. See? For example, you are thinking that you are a bird and flying in the sky. The sky is the Satchidananda and you are the bird. You can think also of, we say, these birds are there are certain birds which fly over the Himalayas from India to Mongolia. If you imagine yourself as that bird, you can think of many, yes, scenes below on the earth. Mountain peaks, gorges, then ranges of snow, then flowers, cornfields, rivers. So as you move across, to go to Mongolia, you have to, traverse China and go to Mongolia. These birds, migratory birds, they do it, So that is one kind of meditation. Other kind of meditation, he taught that imagine yourself as fishes, which, joyfully swim in water. You are that fish, and that water is that Satchidananda. So these kind of meditations lead to your realization of the impersonal God. If you are, if you push it much. So these are Buddhists. They do other things. The Vipassana. This on the breathing itself, on different parts of the body, etc. It is just concentration. You do not get anything beyond concentration. Of course, when the mind is tremendously concentrated, truth flashes in the mind. That is also true. So, Swami Vivekananda used to say that he used to practice Trataka. Trataka means you have something on the wall, for example, a small figure or a circle or something like that. You concentrate upon that. That is Trataka. He said that by practicing Trataka, he had flashes of realization. That shows that concentration itself leads to the flashing of truth. So mind must be concentrated, but if you are now, you can ask that the mind of the scientist is concentrated. But concentration alone is not sufficient. It must be pure mind. That means the mind must be desireless, read up gross attachments. That is necessary. Otherwise, your concentration will not give you much. The mind must be pure and rid of attachment, and with that concentration, of course, a goal should be there. You must be clear about this spiritual goal. What is spirituality? Spirituality means, the word comes from spirit, juxtaposed to matter. Matter is limited, spirit is unlimited. Matter is truncated, always. The spirit is not, As the Gita says, avibhaktam sarvabhuteshu vibhaktam iva yastita. As if it is truncated in each being, and that means a soul, as if it is truncated, but it is actually not truncated. It is like ghatakar. The ghata is there, the pot is there, and inside there you imagine a kind of space, separate space. There is no separate space inside the pot. You see. You break the ghata, it is one with the Mahakasha. It is one with the cosmic space. So that should be clear. That should be clear that essentially you are divine. See, as Vivekananda puts it, each soul is potentially divine. See. And it is not just a rhetoric, you say. Our philosophers, especially Gaudapada, had established it. You see, of course, it is true that Gaudapada did it because Nagarjuna preceded him. Nagarjuna's Shunnavada is almost touching your Advaita Vedanta. You see. But thinking that your not seeing the non-dual thing, that is their defect, you see. They did not find this, which has been thoroughly established with reasons. If you go to this, you see, there, because Gaudapada says that to have the ultimate truth, it is not sufficient to examine the ordinary experiences in the waking level. You must also take into account the experiences in dream and in deep sleep. Then you have totality of experiences, and then on the basis of that you find that you're just as in the waking state you discover that the dream was false. While you are dreaming, you do not think that the dream is false. You think that the dream is real. And coming out of the dreaming state, you then find out that it was false. Similarly, there is a higher state, you see, than the waking state. It is called super consciousness. It is. And in that state, you discover that the waking experiences were like dream. Everything. That means whatever you are seeing, conceiving and perceiving in the universe, including the stars and the galaxies, etc., they're all ultimately illusion in the sense that they're transitory. You see, you are seeing them because this has been imagined by the cosmic mind. This is imagined, say, God's creation means imagination. That's why it is called kalpa. Kalpa means kalpana. It's God's imagination. So God's imagination you are seeing, and added to that you have your own world of creation, created by your mind, by your desires, by your activities, you see. That's why the Gita says, Urdhamulam madashakam, but it says, Adashchamulani nusantatani karmani bandhini manushya loke. You see, taproot is above in God, in Brahman, But below, say, the upturned tree, below that there are roots are coming out, minor roots. They are linked with your karma in this world. So that is another your creation. You create something of your own. You imagine, you see, you found the household, you have wives, husband, children, property, you see, you have then social prestige and other things, you see. All these things have been created, you see, by your mind. Your education, you think that it is a very big thing, you see. So this is your world. And another world, what you see, what everyone sees because it is God's imagination. See, all this is, you say, they're illusory in the sense they're transitory. They're not ultimate truth. Ultimate truth is that one, you see, which they cannot name. You see, Brahma Sutra says that the highest definition of Brahman is neti neti. It is not like this, not like that. Because it cannot be defined. It cannot be defined, it cannot be pointed out. You see, that it is this. Because it is very subtle. That's why you cannot point it out. You see, it is everywhere, inside and outside of everything. And that is the one reality. All other things are relatively illusory. They have their utility, practical utility. You realize, you see, they seem to be stable and eternal, the sun and moon, you say that, but no, they're all transitory, you see. All will vanish, you see. The general rule is this: whatever has been composed will be decomposed, you see, but not annihilated. Decomposed, but not annihilated. Because Brahman is there, so it will, again, as I say, it does not lose the capacity of imagining fresh things. So, japa and meditation, you say, should go on, but along with that, you must have some other things, you say. As Ramakrishna used to say that you must have nirjanavasa. You say, repeating in the Gita's doctrine, Gita, twice in the Gita it is there. Vivikta Desha Sevityam, this is hinted in the Gita. And Aratir Janasam Sadi, they mean the same thing. Vivikta Desha Sevityam, that means you go to places which are solitary. And Arati Janasangsadi means you disgust the great assembly of people. You see. So this is for those who are going very deeply. For them it is necessary. He used to advise your householders that if you can do it one day in a month, it is good. If you can do 2 days, it is better. 3 days, still better. You see, go away from your home, outside your usual circumstances and worries, and devote that time mostly to spiritual practice. You see. That is one thing, those who are serious about it, they should do it. And he used to also say Of course, it is for everybody. Sad asad vichar. That is, sat in your Vedanta means what will remain eternally. Only Brahman will remain eternally. So all other things will pass away. So this should be, say, in your mind. So whatever you call your own, say, your property, and then your relations, husband, wife, children, brothers, sisters, everything, they do not belong to you. They belong to God. You see, this must be in your mind, and you should be unattached. You see. If you do not get unattached, one day nature will snatch you from you. See, nature will snatch these things from you one day. It is said that the Mahmud, who plundered Somnath 17 times and many other temples to loot the coffers of the temple, at the end of his life, when he understood that he would not live long, one day he threw in the courtyard these diamonds and began to weep, because he would not be able to take it away. That's why he was weeping. So that will happen to all of us who are attached. See, one day nature will snatch away from you. So you see, the treasure is must keep inside. You see, as Mira says in his song, the thief will not take it away. You see, and it will increase day by day. So that is, you see, what I have to tell about this your japa and dhyana in general. You see, of course, along with this, other things should be there. You see, you must practice tenacity. You must, as I have said, frugality. You see, you must have your certain things like developing willpower, you see, to have success in spiritual life. You see, because spiritual life in the beginning is distasteful, as the Gita says, Jadtatande bishamiva pariname amritopamam. In the beginning it is like poison, but at the end it becomes nectar. You see. It becomes poison because we are not, you see, it is totally foreign to our inner nature. That's why it is disgustful in the beginning. So that ruchi, and that means this inclination of the mind towards it, it has to be developed through practice. But it will not come unless you are convinced about the importance of spirituality. That is the first thing. You must be convinced about the importance of spirituality. Otherwise, you cannot continue. And your lives of the great people. They are highly inspiring. You should have inspiring photos in your living room. Looking at the photos, you get inspired, you say. The Holy Mother used to say that go to Belur Math and you should see Rakhal. And if you look at Rakhal, you have merit, he said. Rakhal ke dekhle punna hai. Look at certain pictures of Swami Brahmananda. Looking at that, you will be inspired. So, you see, Swami Turiyananda, for example, was an inspiring person. Vivekananda, of course, you see. If you go through this conversation with Sharchandra Chakravarti of Swamiji, you see, the beauty of that book is this. In English, it is inspired talks, but in original, it is Bengali. Those who know Bengali, they should read it in Bengali. The beauty of this book is that Swamiji is informally talking on many subjects, and we see that in all, even in informal, ordinary talks, how inspiring he is. I see. You see, it is wonder. You see, if you see that book, you will see that even in ordinary talks, how inspiring Swamiji was. That means he was inspiration personified. I see. That is the great soul. Holy Mother, of course. You see. Holy Mother was another type, you see, shower in her grace, you see. And fortunately, she lived long years up to the passing away of Sri Ramakrishna and showered her grace on thousands of people. Thousands of people. Okay. Om Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. We'll be back at 2:30 on Zoom and YouTube Live.